The Evergreen Media Network Studio, powered by Scott Tree Services.
Hey, welcome back to Classic Car Radio of Vero Beach. I'm Keith McDonald here with Steve Charbonneau and Todd Byron. Welcome back, guys. We're gonna hit some history hard right now, and then we'll get into some tech talk for you guys. Okay.
You got it in you, bud?
Keep it up.
That's why he's got it wrote down.
What?
That's right. That's
What
right.
was I saying?
So July 2nd, 1912, William Mitchell was born. You guys know who Bill Mitchell was? No? He designed the 63 split window. Yeah, and the 63 Buick Riviera, too. Anyway, on his watch, he produced those great cars. He was a tough customer who knew what the public wanted. Anyway, yeah, I remember Bill Mitchell's name a lot. He's quite a guy. Was quite a guy, I mean. He was only the second General Motors design chief ever. And I'm not sure when he passed, but he lived a long life. He lived a good life. He was really, really talented guy. I mean, look at the split window coupe. Is there a nicer looking Corvette? Think about it.
That's why it's the money car.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. 1963 of all years. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Anyway, July 3rd, 1909, with funding from Detroit department store magnate Joseph Hudson and the guidance of industry veterans Roy Chapin and Howard Coffin, Hudson became production of the Model 20. I'm sure that was a Hudson car, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. So that was July 3rd, 1909, when the Hudson was invented, and they are no longer in existence. And July 4th, 1948, which is 3 years after the war, journalists drive the new Porsche prototype. It may have been a holiday in the United States, but in Austria, journalists had their first drive of the Porsche prototype 956, which is a very popular design by Porsche.
356.
Imagine that, 356. I'm sorry. What did I say? 365?
956.
Oh, did I really?
Yeah. That's all right, man. I got you, bud.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm having a rough time, I'm telling you.
You can't hear me? I'm talking in your earpiece.
Yeah. Hold on.
Biden, calm down.
So that was July 4th, 1948, and they already had journalists looking at German cars. 3 years after the war, they were already producing cars. Imagine that.
Yep.
When were people buying them? I would think that there was a little bit of German hatred going on for a while. But anyway, they came out with the 356 or the 956, as I call it. And that
probably weren't a big seller in the United States.
Yeah.
Was it?
I think it was, though. That design stuck around for a couple of decades, didn't it? That 356.
Well, I mean, off the bat after the war.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't think it would have sold well in the States. I mean, they had trouble getting Volkswagen selling over here at first.
People's memories start to fade.
Oh, yeah, they do. Yeah. Yep. And then finally, July 5th, 1865, the Locomotives and Highway Act, better known as the Red Flag Act, imposed on 2-mile-per-hour speed limit in town and 4-mile-per-hour speed limit in the country for all self-propelled vehicles. This was in... I'm not sure. But anyway, just as onerous was the requirement that a man walk ahead of the car with a red flag. So the car could only go 2 miles an hour in the city limits, and a guy had to walk in front of him with a red flag. I guess they were hitting too many people. So the Locomotives and Highway Act, better known as the Red Flag Act, that was passed in 1865. But
Imagine they had phones back then and all that.
1865, they had self-propelled vehicles. I thought they weren't until the late 1800s. I guess so.
And at 2 mile per hour, they're already hitting people.
1865. Yeah. That doesn't make sense, but that's what I took off the internet. So
you might as well walk because you can walk faster
exactly.
than you drive.
I was going to think, doesn't the average human walk 2 miles per hour?
Or just stick with your horses, your horse-drawn wagons and stuff,
Must be true. He got it off the internet.
Yeah.
Biden.
It could be.
President. That's what it says when you read, too.
Yeah.
What? Okay. So you guys want to do some tech talk or not?
Sure.
You want to just sit here and make fun of me? Go ahead. I'll just wait.
Huh? You don't want us to do that, buddy.
Go for it. Go for it. All right. Anyway, let's do some TikTok.
Okay.
Jack in Palm Bay asks, I have a 1971 Ford Torino 500, and I need new door and glass seals for all the doors. Where will I find these? Would seals from other years or models work as well? Thank you for your help and have a great day. I don't know, a 71, isn't that kind of a,
Soft seal.
Yeah, soft seal.
Yeah.
And you got weather strips, and then you got...
I got a guy. I can't even think of the name of it now. I'm blank right now. I feel like Biden. They do all of them. They're big. They're big names.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of good you are tonight.
Huh?
What?
What were we talking about again?
Seals.
Seals.
You're
We're
funny, Gregor.
talking about seals and
Weather seals.
we're talking about defeating healthcare as well.
Yeah, soft seals. I mean, there's another company called Weather Strips. And then the Torino,
Yeah.
that might be... I know, like, one of the cars that we're working on, we couldn't find the right strips. So we ended up just getting a longer weather strip, because most time they meet up anyways.
Yeah.
Right.
So we got one for that 64 Riviera. We had one doors on back order. It's always the left side on any car that we work on. There's never no parts.
Oh,
so
yeah?
we got one from a bigger door,
Yeah.
and it fit right in the track, was perfect to the other one. And then at the very end, we just trimmed it on the bottom.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't know, 18 inches too long, but it was the only thing we could get,
Right.
and you would never know.
Right.
Wasn't the 71 Torino, wasn't that a one-off year, though? The 72 was a lot different,
No.
actually, wasn't it?
I think the
70 and 71,
70,
maybe?
71, 72 are the same.
That's
thought
what I was
the
thinking.
three-
Maybe
Oh, I
the
might be
three
thinking
were
of a
the same.
Grand
LTD
Torino.
or Ranchero door or something might be close.
Yeah.
Could be, yeah.
I don't know. We're working on one.
The
Yeah.
what I
The
looked up
Jaguar.
was the Dearborn Classics, which is mostly Ford because that's where Ford
Dearborn.
those were made.
Yeah.
Dearborn, Michigan. Dearborn Classics or Max Auto Parts in Lockport, New York. You can also get window felts at a place called Special Interest Cars in Oakville, Ontario, Canada. So there you go. Special Interest Cars in Oakville, Ontario. They'll ship them down to you, eh? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't believe I can't remember the name of that place.
Oh, you're looking it up in your
I
wallet?
think I
You
got
got
a
a card?
card.
You got a business card, do you?
I think I got a card.
Hold on, Jack. We're looking something up.
Go to the next one.
Okay. So Sean, and right here in Vero Beach, says, guys, I'm repainting a 68 Chevelle that I bought off Craigslist. It's my first ever paint job. How many old coats of paint can you scuff and paint over, assuming the surface and old finish is in good condition and the paint products are compatible? And if I make a mistake and have to scuff it up again, how many coats of base can be applied? I know there's problems with too many coats of paint, of course. Well, you guys are experts at that. What do you say?
I would paint over.
Todd left us.
Yeah, we try not to paint over a lot of the older paint.
Yeah.
Usually if it has more than 2 layers, we strip it. Because
Yeah.
you don't know what's underneath it. Then you got to worry about the chemical reaction of the other paint loosening up, coming back.
Right.
And then a lot of the big things is like, how do you actually physically know what's on the car?
Right.
Because like we had a guy tell us it was lacquer and it definitely wasn't lacquer.
Right.
So you got to look into that. I tell people, if you want it done right, the best way to do is strip it. Unless you physically know what's done to the car and what's on it, strip it.
Yeah.
Take the extra time. You can take the world's crappiest paint, and as long as you prep it right, you can make it look good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when you have, if he's doing a third coat, you lose a lot of the definition of the body.
When it
too.
comes to
a lot of the definition.
when it comes to how
right?
many coats you put on, it's going to be how
That
many.
too. Yeah.
Well, you put as many on as it takes to get it covered.
And he's saying how many coats of base can be applied. So he's going to try to go over with a base clear over whatever he's got on that 68 Chevelle.
Well, I wouldn't recommend it.
No, I wouldn't either. I would go with just a regular, not a single stage,
Too many
right?
chances of failure if you're putting a base coat, especially because base is hot, not temperature hot, but hot chemically.
Okay.
So when you put that base onto an old paint that's been sanded, that old paint is opened up now.
Right.
So it's going to bite into it.
Yeah.
You have a lot of problems that
Really?
can occur. It can bubble it, it can crack it, it can peel it.
Wow.
Or it might not do any of it until after you
After
paint
you
it,
clear
put it
and let
outside in the sun. The
Yeah,
next thing you know, you got all these problems popping up.
Right.
Shrinks up and on it.
Strip it, dude.
Yep.
strip it.
Yeah.
Take the
It's
extra
a
time.
68 Chevelle. You want to do it right anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean,
Because the materials ain't cheap, no matter whether you buy the cheap stuff or
right, true.
Yeah, this is one of those do it one and done and do it right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know a lot about it, but one
Right.
day I was thinking about being a painter.
Well, I get the feeling if he's repainting a 68 Chevelle, he's probably got a couple of coats of single stage. And there might even be a primer in between too, right?
Well, back then they used that old reddish brown
Right,
primer.
yeah.
Nothing sticks to that.
Oh, really?
Oh
Okay.
man, that is horrible.
Wow.
You better take it off if you got that on there, brother.
Wow. Yeah, you better check.
Yeah.
We stripped, a 2002 Trans Am. It had 8 layers of paint on it. And
Really?
at one time in its life, it was black, and the car is originally red. And then we did our 62 Impala had 9 coats of paint on it.
Wow.
Just
Wow.
way too much.
Yeah.
If it was one paint job, you can take,
Right,
you're taking
yeah.
a chance.
Yeah.
But anything over that,
Right.
The Impala was red originally red, and then somebody painted it white, and then somebody painted it black, and then somebody painted it silver, and then somebody painted it back to red.
Wow.
But it had other paint jobs on it too. There's a lot of layers.
Put it all down on that
Oh, yeah.
Trans Am. What about the nose on that? Isn't that like a Enduro type poly nose? Well, how
Yeah.
did you strip? Did you get to strip that too?
Very gently.
Yeah. You use chemical on that?
Nope.
No. Okay.
chemicals
Wow.
anymore are no good.
Yeah.
They don't have no strength to them.
Yeah.
Because of the VOC laws?
Well, they changed them because when that happened, the aircraft stripper used to be really good. You would rough it up with some 180 or 80 and
Yeah.
then start brushing it on,
Right.
and it would lift it.
Right.
Now, it won't even hardly do anything because they took the strength chemical out of it. Because
Right.
what was happening, these refinisher guys that were refinishing tubs and houses
Yeah.
were getting in there and doing that, and next thing you know, they get asphyxiated and they die.
Really?
And it's because of that.
The
Well,
stripper.
And so they revamped
Wow.
the whole thing, and it's
Wow.
worthless.
Wow. That's like exterior paint too on homes. Yeah, oil-based paint, low VOC. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Doesn't hold up. The latex holds up better on an exterior home than
And what's weird, that paint that
oil-based.
you're talking about, you brush it and you put a coat on, you go to do another coat, and it's like it pulls the paint with it. I'm like,
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
just seems like it never dries.
yeah, it's like crazy, man. I couldn't be a house painter.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all different.
I couldn't be a car painter. I don't even.
You have to put. Yeah. You have to put stuff into a regular house paint. You have to add the Penetrol, Floetrol for the Floetrol stuff. You ever heard of it? Made by Flood. Penetrol for oil base, Floetrol for latex, and it helps you get that slide. We used to call it slide. It helps the paint slide on better. It doesn't pull like
And it's
you're
the same
talking
thing. They
about.
got direct.
You got to
metal
cut
paint,
it
too.
back, just like spraying car paint. You got to cut it back.
Huh.
Yeah. My front door at Mother House was oil-based paint, and they didn't prep it right. And man, that door would never open. People be like, "Got the door locked?" I'm like, "Push." That door used to rip the weather strip off. Finally, I got one day, I got pissed off. I took the door off the hinges and I put it outside, and I DA'd that thing and stripped it down.
Yeah, good. All right, we got to go on a quick break. We'll come back with some more Tech Talk. We are Classic Car Radio of Vero Beach.
Hi, I'm Joe Scazzari, owner and operator of Scazzari Roof Services Contracting and Consulting. Scazzari manufactures its own standing seam metal roofs in a heavy-duty 24-gauge up and down the Treasure Coast, using only U.S. steel. Only need a repair? Repairs are guaranteed for 3 years. We can do that because we go in your attic, find the leak, see where it is, go out onto your roof, open that area, and repair the leak once, and that's the end of it. Don't be sorry, call Scazzari.
At Sunshine Furniture, our 35,000 square foot showroom is filled with the largest selection of in-stock coastal furniture on the Treasure Coast. Dining and bedroom sets, occasional tables, sofas, sleeper sofas, love seats, and chairs in all the latest styles and colors from Tommy Bahama, Lexington, Hooker, Riverside, Universal, Four Seasons, Braxton Color, and Capri. We're the outdoor furniture experts and have hundreds of styles of any patio furniture you need, including a gallery of Berlin Gardens, Hollywood, and Kingsley Bait. We specialize in fire bits, outdoor rugs, umbrellas, and replacement cushions. Right now, we're having a super summer sale with lots of great markdowns and discounts on everything you need for your Florida home, including all pictures, lamps, and accessories are half price. Sunshine Furniture, $12.95 US 1 in the Publix Plaza, Vero Beach. Don't forget to visit our outlet store directly across the street and visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com.
Sunshine Have you ever wanted your carpets or area rugs cleaned, but you just didn't want to deal with the noise, the wet carpet, and that long dry time? And what happens to all that wet stuff underneath the carpet? Ew! Well, Heaven's Best Carpet Cleaning solves all that with their guaranteed 1-hour dry time. Their low moisture process dries fast, smells great, and it's safe for your kids and pets too. And guess what? They also clean sofas, love seats, chairs, and recliners. Heaven's Best serves all of Indian River County and Barefoot Bay. They're bonded and insured, and your results are guaranteed. Don't put it off any longer. Grab your phone and call Keith at Heaven's Best, 772-643-6999. You'll be thrilled with the results. 772-643-6999.
And we're back to Classic Car Radio. If you're cruising up and down I-95 on a Saturday from between 2 and 3, we are on every week from 2 to 3 p.m. right here, 107.9 FM, 1370 AM, right, Jesse? 1370, yeah.
That's right.
That's right. So, so we are on the radio, and if you're cruising around Vero Beach or Sebastian, a little bit north side of Fort Pierce, too, you can get us. The tower is actually in Fort Pierce, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, it's right on the line, the Vero Beach line there near us. So. Anyway, so we got some more tech talk for you. Dave up in Palm Bay wants to know, which kit do you guys recommend to convert a 70 Torino 429 to EFI? Holly seems to be a little bit cheaper than Edelbrock. Of course. Right?
Huh?
You're going to say Sniper, right? Have you lost faith in Sniper? But you can't shrug on the radio. No one can see you shrug on the radio.
On it.
What? No. It's a Torino 429. He wants to do EFI. What does he use?
I'll just tell you my last experience. The last 3 EFIs, the EFIs I put on my car, they're all gone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You got to get them tuned. And if you don't have them professionally tuned, I'm sorry, but they run like absolute crap.
Oh, yeah?
And the customer service right now that Holly's offering sucks because it doesn't exist.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
So what do you guys recommend for this guy then?
Carburetor.
Yeah.
Go with a carb? Stick with the carbs?
Well, if you want to put an EFI on it, tune it.
Yeah.
Don't be an idiot like everybody says. Their self-tuning system. They'll only self-tune to a certain amount of timing. They only self-tune to a certain amount of fuel injection pulse.
Really?
You need to have it professionally tuned. Yes, I'm going through that right now at 2 of my cars I have that got brought in from other shops. One right here in town.
Yeah,
So Sniper has lost its luster and fallen from grace with you guys, huh?
They work good on nothing that's radical, but if you're making over 500 horsepower, you need to have it tuned.
Yeah, I mean, if he's got a big motor with a cam and stuff in it, stay far away from it. You know, if you got, stock 350, you'll be all right.
Right, okay.
Something stock,
Something that's not super radical. If it's making a good cam, the problem that I seen, what I seen getting the watch one be tuned is the fuel injection pulse and the timing can only go so far. And with the big lobing cam, the Sniper can't adjust for it fast enough.
Okay.
It's got to be tuned.
And then in the tech help at Holly,
45 minutes a phone call.
And they don't know. You go around in circles with them.
So you're calling basically Joe Biden, right?
Yeah.
Joe Biden guys work there too.
To get it back before she valve.
Yeah. You're on with Joe Biden for about a minute, then back to Kamala.
What?
Kamala.
Whatever her name
Sounds
is.
like an oil. Kamala. 1040. 10W40.
What was that,
Kamala.
Cam 2, remember?
Yeah,
Cam 2. Yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
I used to buy it. I bought into that. Cam 2. Oh, yeah, I come right on Cam 2. Anyway, so these guys are, recommending you stick with a carburation. There you go.
Get it tuned.
Natural aspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Barry from Merritt Island asks, guys, I blew my oil filter on engine startup in a 69 Skylark 400. The K&N filter was fairly new with less than 50 miles on it. I had more than 100 PSI on startup and around 50 to 80 after about a minute. Once the engine is hot, the pressure is between 10 and 15 on idle. I haven't had any problems in the past year with the same K&N filter. What happened? So he's jacking it. He's getting 100 PSI on startup and blowing out his oil filter. What do you think?
100 PSI.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with that.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. And then he gets it warmed up, and it goes down 60 to 80 after about a minute. And then it goes down to 10, 15 on idle once it's hot. So, but it starts really
That's
super
a
high.
humongous swing.
I'll say.
Yeah.
100 on startup and then down to 10 to 15
I mean, even
on
100's a little on the high, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that Mustang out there runs about 85,
Oh, does it really?
90.
Okay.
and it's got a remote filter. Matter of fact, it had a K&N on it.
Really?
We had the Bull Boost remote system on it. Put
Uh-huh.
on it, but 100. I don't know. I can't see why it would blow it apart.
Well, that's what it said. He said it blew my oil filter on engine
I
startup.
wonder if he's got a remote system on it because, some of those remote systems have the drain back valves and all that stuff.
Yeah,
We had an issue on that black Chevelle.
maybe it.
Maybe.
Maybe he had.
The valve was stuck and wouldn't allow the oil to pass through.
All right, so that's what I
That's
looked up. It said
possible.
stuck pressure relief valve. It's fairly common. Remove it and remove any burrs and polish it up and check the bore, put it back in.
Yeah, because some of those, if you mount the oil filter upside down in the fender wall,
Right.
they have those two little valves like that Cyclone that had it
Right.
because it had the relocation kit on it.
Yeah.
So did it have the filter standing up?
Yep.
So when you took it, it
Yeah.
ran out. Okay.
Yeah.
Like
Made
the
a
new
big mess.
Toyotas and the Tacomas and Tundras.
So that's what's going on with their problem then.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right,
glad
so
we
we
put
don't
that
know
one
what's
on the
going on, but we
Mustang.
think we think it might be stuck pressure relief valve, and check that out. It
Yeah.
says it's fairly common.
Especially if it's 100 and then down to 50.
Yeah.
That's a humongous swing.
All right,
Yeah, well,
we got
it's like-
one more we can squeeze in before the show's over. Greg down in Stewart, I don't know how he heard us. I guess iHeartRadio. Don't forget, we're streaming on iHeart also on Saturdays. I just Bidened myself that time. Saturdays at 2
Well,
o'clock.
you're doing that a lot.
You can,
today, bro.
yeah. I'm not myself today. That's why I'm drinking coffee.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I never drink coffee
Come
this
on,
time of day.
Biden's trying to stay awake over here.
Yeah.
Cool
So
in there.
yeah, they didn't jack me up before the show. So, Greg and Stewart says, "Hey guys, I just bought a '71 El Camino 350. I noticed that the hood was cracked on both sides, above the springs. I thought it might be that it needs new hinges, but that didn't help. Now I have a brand new cowl hood, which is a bit heavier, but nonetheless the springs are too much for the hood. This hood is all painted up with nice ghost stripes, and I don't want to mess it up at this point. What should he do? He's going to have to get new springs again, right?
Yeah.
Lighter spring? Well, can he just change out the spring?
No, you can change the springs.
Yeah, you can just change the springs.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you can just buy the springs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole
they-
setup, though, right?
Yeah, they make different springs. Like I know, like when I ordered the hood for my car, they ask you fiberglass or steel.
Right.
But then also, if you really want to go all out and you're worried about that scratching, then I know the El Camino has the same style hood as the Chevelles, and they always
Sure.
give out because they're just riveted together.
Yeah.
Buy yourself a nice set of like Ring Brothers or CVF Racing. They make a sweet billet hinge with like
Really?
little shock absorbers. I've been putting them
Oh,
on every
nice.
Chevelle.
Yeah.
I'm putting them on my Chevelle. I'm putting them on my Camaro. Felix's Impala we got at the shop because his car, the hood hits. Then the GTO we did. Yeah, spend the money. It's well worth it. They don't go bad. And you don't want to worry about the hood rubbing the fenders.
There you go.
Cool.
Hey, thanks very much for listening. We are on every Wednesday night streaming here on YouTube and on Facebook at Evergreen Media. You can also listen to us, as I mentioned, every Saturday on WAXE, the Patriot Radio, 107.9 FM and 1370 AM. We're Classic Car Radio. Thank you, guys, and we are out of here.
And all the Lizzie Musey fans, may she rest in peace.
Yep.
Right. Oh, yeah, Lizzie, yeah.
Happy 4th.
Happy 4th.